So here we are. I decided to bring the steering tower here up to the table again. We got a whole bunch of decals that we have to get on this here. All these originally were punched for a manual, so there was a cover plate out of a piece of heavy aluminum, so I had just a steel one made for hold the decal to cover that back up. But we'll get the light switch in here, key switch, probably get the amp meter put in, and maybe even the bushing for the steering wheel. So anyway, next up I'll start putting these decals on, and hopefully that goes pretty good. And then we'll get this back to the tractor. So we have all the decals and everything put in on the steering tower here. Yeah, got the light switch, key switch, amp gauge, all the decals that belong on it. Pretty happy with how decaling went. I'm not the greatest at that, but I'm pretty happy for the most part with how all this turned out. This rubber bushing for the steering, I ended up soaking that in some boiling water for about 5 minutes to get that pliable enough to get back in there. And then the other tip I would give is if you use the decal sets from Vintage Reproductions, get yourself some little X-Acto knives, because this has to be cut out, this has to be cut out along with the key switch decal, and man, an X-Acto knife made that really easy. So anyway, we'll get this down to the tractor now, and we'll probably get this set on. So there we have our steering tower just sitting on the frame. I did go ahead and wire wheel the hydro lever here. I'm not going to get this put all the way in yet because I do have the wiring harness over here, and that right there is the safety start wire, or safety switch wire. So I will have to lift all this back up, or at least fish the wire through. Right now I could just fish the wire through with this sitting here. So for right now, that's where this is going to stay. So I think next up, let's get the seat pan. Let's get the decals on that, and then we can get the seat put together, and we can get that all ready to roll. So here we are going to get the Sovereign decal on the seat deck here. This thing here is pretty beat up in these two spots where the support goes here down to the rear of the tractor. So I don't know how well the decal is going to lay across this here, but we'll see what happens. This is probably going to take me some time because I'm going to have to try to get this centered on here about the best that I can. So let me get this on, and then we'll get the bracket underneath the front that holds the tabs that hold the seat down, and we'll then we'll get the seat put together and get that slapped on here. So there's our decal on. Didn't turn out too bad. A little bit of a dip here, little bit of a dip here. This is about the only spot I'm kind of worried about. It's a pretty deep puck mark there, but otherwise it laid down pretty good. Anyway, let's get this support underneath the seat, and then we'll move on to the seat itself. So there's our seat deck bracket put in. So let's get the seat built now, and then we'll get everything down and put on the tractor. Back up here at the table now. Gonna get this seat put together. Got the seat from Sandy Lake Implement. Brackets are off of another tractor, so I got some stainless hardware to get all this put together. So let's get the seat put together now. So there is the seat all put together. So let's go get this thrown on the seat pan, and we'll get that bolted on, and we'll be kind of wrapped up with that part of the tractor then. So there is the seat deck on the tractor. Before I put the seat on, I do want to run a cable. The one thing I don't like about these old Simplicities is the fact that you can open this up and this just keeps going right over. So what I'm going to do is use a seat bolt up in here, and I'm going to get a little cable to come back to this bracket here. So basically this is all the farther it would ever open. So probably going to try to get a good source for that cable and get that put on next along with the seat. And I don't know, might try to get that firewall dropped in next then and see what we got to do to get that ready to roll. So let me work on this seat here, and figure out where I would like to go next. And so there is my cable for the seat deck. I did take the steering tower off just to play around with this and get this all mounted on here. There were these 2 holes in this, not sure what for. Perfect size though for a tap, so I ended up tapping this for just a 3/8 bolt, and then just running that up to one of the seat bolts. Pretty simple, and I kind of checked it out here, and nothing really gets in the way here with that cable, so that's good. And then there's our seat on the lawnmower. So next up, I think before I throw the steering tower back on here, I think what I'm going to do is probably get the motor set in here so then I can get the wire for the neutral safety switch laid through here, and then that steering tower can go on, get bolted in. So let's get the motor all prepped and get that dropped back in here, at least bolted in, and then we'll come back to getting this put together a little bit more. Okay, so I got the engine up here on the bench. Before I get it plopped back down here in the frame, I do want to kind of go through, degrease this, get the oil changed on it. I want to check out the all the electrics. Like I say, I bought this thing and it ran for all of about 10 minutes before I started in on this. So anyway, I got my battery there. So because this is a starter generator, the easiest way to test this is to just see whether or not the starter generator will act as a brake. So there we're starting up, and you'll see that it winds down okay. Let's get her wound back up here now. And then we're going to go back over to the field, and this will act as a brake. And as you can see, that brings that to a stop a lot quicker than if you just let it wind down on its own. Yeah. So that's the easy way to check that. Like I say, just go to your positive here, let it spin up, then go over to your field, and if it will charge, that should act like a brake. So this starter generator is good to go. So I'll get it cleaned up here a little bit and get a new belt put on here and start degreasing this. Well, so there I've got the engine pretty much degreased as good as I want to do. Not going to go all out here with this thing, but I know some people probably say, "I'll paint it, get the shroud taken off, paint that up, paint the generator." Yeah, I kind of like the little bit of old school look in this, and the decals are in pretty good shape. The only thing I don't know is it sure looks like there was a decal right there on the side up above from the oil plug, so I will have to look into that and see if there was a decal there or what the deal is. But otherwise, like I say, these two are in good enough shape that, yeah, I'm going to leave them for now. So anyway, let's get the new belt for the starter generator put on. Get all that tightened up, and then we'll be able to get this set into the frame. So there's our new belt and starter generator all tightened up. One thing I forgot I got to do, I got to get this oil changed out of this, so let me do the oil change here real quick in this, and then we'll get it set into the frame. And so there we got the engine all bolted in. I did change oil, and I went with the AMSOIL 5W30 small engine oil. I might put a few hours on this engine and then change it out again. The oil that came out was pretty dirty, so I don't know if it's been changed. Who knows when it was changed, to be fair. I did take a peek for this steering shaft. I do have to put the firewall piece on here next, because this will have to go through that at the very bottom before I can put the steering tower on. So when we come back next week, we'll work on that and get some of the wiring run down through the frame here for our neutral safety switch, which is back over there. But otherwise, probably another 2 or 3 weeks, I would guess, to finish this thing up. So go ahead, give us a subscribe if you want to follow along and see this thing to the end. Otherwise, I will see everybody next week.